Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about dietary fat and I am super excited. So when I started making this video, it ended up having a lot more information and sciencey stuff than I'm sure a lot of you want to hear. So if you guys want like a more expanded version of dietary fat, I can do another video that'll be longer and have more talking. This video is going to be really condensed. It's just going to talk about the general classifications of fat, some simple terminology, and how it interacts with the body. I'm wearing my pajamas. So, first classification of fat that we're going to talk about is saturated. That adds to the stability of the cell membranes, so it keeps the cells stable. It doesn't generally interact with its surroundings, so it won't, it'll keep the cell compact, right? Now, the problem with that is that if you have too much, you can get a hardening of the arteries, atherosclerosis, or cardiovascular diseases. Different types of cancers have been associated with over intake of saturated fat. So it's definitely not something that we want to have too much of, but it is very important for keeping the cell membrane structure. So it has its area of expertise, but too much is never a good thing. So next is unsaturated fat. Now you can have a few different types of unsaturated fat. You can have a monounsaturated, which means that one hydrogen molecule has been removed from the fat, or you can have a polyunsaturated, which means that multiple hydrogen molecules have been removed. Now when we're talking about trans fat, that's a hydrogenated oil, which means that the hydrogen has been added back into the unsaturated fat. And the reason for this is because they discovered that unsaturated fats, the opposite of saturated fat, is very reactive to its environment. It's very sensitive. It can be oxidized very easily. It's very sensitive to heat and light. So their idea was to add the hydrogen back into the unsaturated fat, so you keep the benefit of the unsaturated fat, but you've got the hydrogen in it to protect it from being oxidized. Problem with this is that it becomes something else. It doesn't interact with the body. It really doesn't have the same effect of saturated or an unsaturated. It's something completely different entirely, and it underwent a chemical change that took away its quality. Under the polyunsaturated fats are the omegas. We've all heard of them: omega-3, omega-6. Omega-9 is not as common. I believe it's created in the tissue, so it's not as essential in the diet. But omega-3 and omega-6 are important to get in the diet. How do I explain this? It's trying to condense it all so that it makes sense, but it's not super hard to understand. So omega, I'm making this way more complicated than I have to. So omega-6s, they can lead to chronic inflammation if they're taken in too high quantity, like they usually are in the Western diet. So you have omega-3, which has always been known as the anti-inflammatory. It follows the prostaglandin series 1 and 3 molecules, so they tend to be anti-inflammatory. They reduce the release of cortisol in your body. So omega-6s are generally in corn, peanuts, poppy seeds, safflower oil, and walnuts. Also in wheat germ. Omega-3s are generally like your pumpkin seeds, your flax seeds, chia seeds, and some sea vegetables. So, triglycerides, because we all know that has something to do with fat. Triglycerides are the fat stored in your body. You can either have brown fat, which is like body fat, or you can have the organ fat, which protects your organs from trauma or from temperature change. Okay, so the final part of this video, which will probably just be me rambling on about fat and a bunch of different things. So, functions. 1, fat is a ready source of energy. It's important for the cell membranes. It protects them, both keeps them stable and flexible at the same time. It acts as an organ shield. If you fall over or if you get in a car crash, it'll protect your organs. It helps with body temperature regulation, so it puts a layer of fat in the skin, just underneath the skin, that helps us regulate the body temperature. That's why we tend to get a bit thicker in the winter to help keep us warm. So fat is integral for the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, including vitamin A, D, E, and K. Because it's integral for vitamin D, it's also integral for calcium absorption because vitamin D helps the absorption of calcium into your bones and teeth. It's also very important for cellular signaling, so to help these cells talk to each other. It's also an important part of the myelin sheath. I won't go too much more into it. If you guys want a longer video of me literally just talking about fat and how it interacts with your body, leave a comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel for weekly updates. I do a Live Naturally video every Monday, and I'm going to be doing a doTERRA video every Thursday. So I'm starting out with every single product that they have, every single oil. I'm going to do an entire video on all of that, or on one each week, every Thursday. So stay tuned for that, and follow my Instagram if you want to get updates on health recommendations and doTERRA stuff and yoga stuff and van stuff and traveling and stuff.